So, here we go, ready for race 2. Which is 13 laps, reverse top 9. Just waiting. We'll give the customary 1 lap to the guy who won the race last time, which is Hordes. B lobby in Z4s. Great start from Maestro, already pressurising Dan. Oh, ducks on the spin. He's the only one and there's no damage. It's just one of those bad cases of whoopsies. They are through. Viper is on the back end of Hordes. Hordes has got it all to do. 9th place. As we are halfway through this first lap, as people, you can see cars already stepping out. Whether that was me or the system. No, everyone's still here. Good old puff of smoke coming out there. On the back of NWR Dan. Dan's trying to get around the outside and the inside of Victor all at one go. Victor is definitely not South African. Through on the inside. Viper's on the inside and the outside, and it's sorry, the duck now up to Viper. And as we know, the duck's got some decent pace in that motor. As Cracadon ends up on the grass, he's going to lose a fair old few places here. He's still looking at the back of Dan, who's still looking at the back of Victor. Ooh, there's a good old puff of smoke in front. Oh, there's contact with a few of them. It's a no restart jobby though, they've hit the first lap. That's just bad luck. But there's a few dead cars. He could have called a safety car, but they've completed the first lap. Well, as they've called a restart, I'm not entirely sure why. Obviously restart. Oh, there must have been more than 2 cars damaged. I'll let them off. This time. Well, we'll give Hordes another little bit of love. If I actually put myself as a fucking spectator this time. Let's try this again, shall we? Automated a much better start this time round, but people, again, throwing their nose in when it's not wanted. Looks so scrappy out front. Give yourself some space, boys. As there's two cars swinging out. Couple of cars. Sure exactly what's happening. I think I've lost somebody. I don't know whether. Just waiting to see. Horse is not at the end of his first lap yet. He is up to 5th place. I have lost somebody, but it's not telling me who I've lost. Oh no, maybe that's Mayhem I'm lost. Okay, so now I'm puzzled. But, right, let's go with the race. Because there is definitely 2 different races. 3 different races now. They've called a safety car. Triggers controlling the pace, 50 miles an hour, 55. Assuming they're going to go straight out of Maggots and Beckett's. Hopefully start to up the pace. goes on the bridge. That was perfect. Did not step a foot out until he touched that bridge. Danzilla looks like he's been through the ringer again. Oh, Stevie, by the looks of things, is that we are now heading on to lap 3. Interesting to know who was damaged though, because there was no pit. It's an ugly drive. Oh, Kragadon's been hit. Still going. Danzilla's waiting for Kragadon. Maestro, Hordes, Nefel are hunting down Trigger at the moment. Interesting. I think Maestro took the best option he could have taken then. Ooh, there's contact. Everyone's going. Hordes has just picked himself round the outside for 2 places through Maggots and Beckett. It's not very often you see positions changing through there. It looks like Hordes might be going for the lead. He's going to come on the inside into... Going to get it. Nefel's looking to follow through. We're going to get it slowed down. Nefel goes into the side of Trigger. That was due to contact with Maestro. By the time he got out, I don't think he had a lot of chance in that. Victor's all the way up into 5th place. Trigger's didn't lose a lot of data, a lot of positions then. Nefel did though. Nefel's down in 14th place. Hopefully he's avoided damage. He has. Tough Sand, Duck and Maestro separated by not a lot. Wish you could have replays on this, because I'd love to know what happened with Nefel. I think Nefel got contact with somebody, couldn't get his car released with Forza glue. Then by the time he put his brakes on, it's too late. He's on the side of Trigger. That looks like a combination crash. Cotsey's on the inside of Trigger. Did Trigger get away with damage? He did. Pit lane opens. Lorry has a good old wheel spin. I think Dan will be really glad to get to the end of this race. Never has to look at Silverstone again until the next series. Trigger lost a lot of momentum there. Kev's having his traditional race 2 yawn. Good little NWR battle. Kotze's not far behind it either. Trigger's got to be kicking himself under that. Well, not kicking himself, but got to be annoyed. You know, keeps going, keeps racing. You can't win a race if you're not in it. Can't pick any points up if you rage quit. No, still not able to get close enough. He's side by side with Trigger. He's through into 7th, 3 seconds behind Dan. Yeah, that was always coming, Cots. Tried to take too much speed through there. Oh, I thought he was going to wipe him out. Oh. That Kotze going? That was Kotze going. Disconnect from Kotze. That's probably why it looked like he was on the thing, ready to attack somebody. See Laurie, see if he can get any closer to Trigger. Obviously the pit lane opens. It has genuinely been a weird race. Ooh, Laurie was about to lose it. Fell's had a decent recovery, now up to 9th place. He was in 14th at one point. That tells me there's been drama somewhere else as well. I need a second streamer to catch up with all this drama. Somehow Viper's found himself out last, just behind. Oh, Viper! Oh, nearly hit that tyre wall there, son. Let's see if he can have an attack on Mayhem. He's there, go. Chasing the back of Mayhem. Mayhem throws himself into the pits. Going to give Viper a little bit of free air. Let's see what he can do in that free air. Good side twitch. Cross the line. Going to pick up some few places based upon pits. Waters just behind him. Let's see what can happen. Just avoided running out wide there. Interesting to see how different people's lines and different perspectives on a racing line. Viper's going to have some company before he knows it. Hordes and Maestro are behind him. Will he play the tactical MRT game and back Hordes into Maestro? Is this going to be a Ferrari call? Let's see if Maestro can close that gap to Hordes. No, but Hordes look like he's about to have a go at Viper. So unsettled under the curbs through Maggotts and Beckett's is the little Z4. Looks like Hordes is side by side with Viper. I don't know why I went on to Trigger's car, like it was going to give me the answer. Viper's through, Hordes is through comfortably. Viper doesn't like to pit until the last chance, but yeah, I think he'll probably pit now. Tough San is currently out front. Ozzy and Stevie. Just Maestro and Hordes again. Hordes is quite safe to say Hordes is the class above the rest with everyone in this lobby today. He's been very comfortable this whole race so far. Wish this thing would change. Let's see, where can we go? Again, there's a bit of space everywhere. I hate that my controller does that. Oh no, I lied completely. It's Hordes and Maestro again. I do think somebody's going to have to let Viper in on the MRT livery challenge, because you've all got very similar liveries. Just doesn't seem like Viper was included in that email. It's a good run from Kragadon as he takes his racing position very early. If you're going to have to overtake me, you're going to have to think about what you're doing, not the other way around. Looks like it's going side by side. Who's got the better drag? Looks like Cragadon at the moment. Let's get the move done. Just slow down a slight bit more. There we go. Move is completed. Pit lane closes the next time round for everybody else. These guys have already pitted. We know there's a lot of gaps today. Do you know what? I was convinced this would have thrown up the most interesting race. Well, you can't win them all, folks. He's not giving up the fight with Cragadon, that's for sure. Come on, Ozzy. So, let's just have a little bit of a catch up with where everyone is. Hordes has managed to close the gap slightly. It's now to 0.7 of a second behind Maestro. Duck still third. Itoff-san fourth. Dan fifth. And a 10-second gap to this trainer cars. Pick one, let's go on board with Laurie. Oh, actually there are not a lot. They're not as close as it makes it out. These two are though. Right, let's give them a lap or so. Let's see if they can close that gap. 0.8 of a second with Hordes to Maestro. It's starting to close that gap. Come on boys, let's have a race. Somebody can have a race, surely. Please, somebody, anybody. We've closed it right up, 0.4. 2 laps to go, the best part of. And then he just opens that gap up again. Seem to have lost Victor as well. Interested to see if that's a disconnect or a see you later, chaps. Potsy we know disconnected. It's got that dodgy Irish Wi-Fi. Just fairly sure he nicks it from about 7 neighbours down, which is why he disconnects. I think Trigger down in 7th could just feel himself just so unlucky in this race. Contact with Nefel earlier on, down into 7th place now. As we've got a lap and a corner to go. Race 2 of the Z4s around Silverstone. Oars is still trying to close that gap. Let's go see if we've got anything else kicking off. Stevie and Trigger are half a second apart. Uzzy and Laurie looks like they're about to have some fun. For 11th and 10th place. There's no point in commenting now, Cotsy, not with your dodgy internet, you might disconnect. Cots steals his Wi-Fi from 7 people, 7 houses down, Brad, that's what happened to Cots, mate. Stevie's still on the back of Trigger. And I just can't get close enough. I am honestly hoping that Nick had more interest in Lobby A. See how they're getting on up front. Yeah, 0.2 of a second apart now. I think this is where we'll hang out until the end of the race. See what they can do with each other. He's going to have to run wide, real wide. He's going to gain no advantage out of that, thankfully. Didn't want to be dealing with the SI on that one. Went wide by error. Just don't think he can get it done. It's too scrappy. Good drive from Maestro. Really giving Hordes much of a chance. He's kept his lines, he's kept where he needed to keep. Itofsan probably with another couple of laps would have been more interested. So we have a couple of disconnects. And they cross the line, separated by just a 10th. Duck 3rd, Itofsan 4th, Dan 5th. Nefel gonna cross the line into 6th place through the final corner. And this is where it skips out every time. That's it. Trigger, Stevie, Kragadon, Uzzy, Laurie, Viper, Danzilla, A&M and Mayhem as a DNF. We'll watch A&M through the final couple of corners. And there's race 2, folks. I'll give you the rundown when I'm back in the lobby. Here he goes. Maestro with the win, followed by Hordes, the Duck, Itofsan, Dan, Nefel, Trigger, Stevie, Kragadon, Uzzy, Laurie, Viper, Danzilla, A&M, Mayhem, Victor and Cotsy disconnect. Well, that was an interesting race week with the Z4s. Yep, that's all I'm going to say. I'll see you next week.